Hello, I'm Zoganat and welcome to the studio. Wolfie, thank you for the host. Right, so we'll continue with this. I'm feeling a little bit better, still slightly out of breath, but we'll see how we go. It's warm in the studio tonight for some reason, I don't know. Something got really warm and yet it's not actually warm. In fact, it's cooler than it often is. But who can understand temperature? It's probably just me. Right, so flat chisel. Being careful not to jab myself on the sharp ones that are in that case. Yes, the microphone is working, yeah. And the camera is not too bad. Right. Updated OBS last night. Actually, I quite like it because now we've actually got on OBS proper dB meters. Well, whether they're proper or not, they are dB meters. You can actually tell roughly what levels things are at, which is good. Because I had to use external meters at one point to set my audio up. Now I'll be able to do it in OBS. In fact, he's got quite fancy just recently as OBS. In its studio mode, you can see all the scenes simultaneously, which is great if you've got lots of them. If you were in like a studio where somebody else was controlling things and you got a few cameras, they'd be able to switch between the cameras really nicely just using it and clicking on the one that they want. It's getting better with OBS. So I was considering lettering this tonight, but I didn't have time to write the letters out, so I'm not to that at some other point. In the meantime, we'll carry on, which was carving down the frame, and then we'll see where we go from there. You know what you find disappointing? I find lots of things disappointing. What in particular do you find disappointing, Wolfie? I find it disappointing that I don't have 150 or 15,000 people watching me, but everything has created these days like those against not sure I follow. You mean that these games are all about crafting and making things these days? Or have I misinterpreted that? Because if so, I mean, crafting can be fun in the right scenario, but there is something to be said in games like Doom where you just find ammo. I mean, quite why you'd leave ammunition just lying around the place. I mean, in Doom I can kind of understand it, but in some other games where you just open a cupboard and there's a packet of bullets, why? But anyway. But not the kind of games I want to have creative. Survival games are kind of the exact ones that you want to have that being able to create things, isn't it? I mean, that's kind of the point, is for whatever reason you're in this survival environment and you've got to make the best of it. Yeah, I guess you'd be able to find some things, but other things you'd have to make or repair or... Oh, do you mean creative as in God mode? As in it doesn't cost you anything, you just everything is available to you, you just pick it out, like Minecraft and creative mode Minecraft, you mean? Ah. Well, you don't have to play them, do you? Like that? I mean, I very rarely play, for example, when I do play Minecraft, it's not often I will use creative. I occasionally will do it if I want to, not sure about something, or and I want to sort of just test out if the theory that I've got is about how to do something, for example, works, but I'll duplicate the world if necessary or start a new one, and then use creative on that. I don't use creative mode stuff on the game I'm actually playing, if that kind of makes sense. You want roguelike to have creative. Don't know. Or are you talking about? Thought just crossed my mind then. That you may be talking about a game called roguelike. Because what I was thinking of is there's a lot of times things are described as roguelike because they are procedurally generated by an application, so they're never the same twice. Yeah, I mean, God mode is fun. I mean, I with things like Doom when I first played it, I used to like doing those things at some point in God mode, just so that you could go into a room and see what was there, and then kill everything, or whatever. It was fun in that way, in that you didn't get died. I mean, with those sorts of games, though, what I liked about them was the exploring more than going around killing things. So God mode stuff in that particular sort of scenario was fun to me, because it was the exploring that was fun, the finding the secrets, not the killing things. Yeah, you can play around. I suppose I can understand that, yeah. I was about to say you'll have to see if you can find a mod, but I'm not actually sure Hearthstone has mods, does it? Have they let them... Yeah. Yeah, to try out things like that. Yeah. Well, all you can do, I guess, is make the thought known on the Hearthstone forums, where it might be picked up by the developers. there again, I guess some of these things are built on a standard, I don't know about Hearthstone, is it built on a standard framework that has a console that you may well be able to enable that sort of thing within? You keep everything. You'd have big pockets for that. Now the green direction won't let me carve that way because I already tried that, so I'm going to have to carve crosswise like this, which is really awkward to do. Carving onto the wood. We've got to be careful not to drive straight through onto this bit of wood. And I actually did something I shouldn't have done, which was follow that out. And I've only just realised that. That was a plant. So I shall have to modify that bit of the design. Well, let's say about all you. Well, other than doing that sort of thing yourself, the only thing you can do is just, you know, make the idea in the forums and things like that. If enough people pick up on the idea and like it, then the developers may well add that sort of thing in. Can I shave that enough that way? Yeah, I can probably shave it. Sometimes you can't exactly carve in certain directions. I may well just be lucky here and that I'm going slightly across grain. But sometimes what you can do is, if you take it really carefully, you can sort of shave things rather than carving, sort of taking fairly large chunks, relatively speaking. Okay, so running your fingers over the wood like this, you can feel where the high spots are and the low spots like there. So if you're trying to carve flat, you can feel where you need to do some work. If not, what you can always turn a chisel this way up if you want to try and do it, but it's really awkward to try and do something flat like that. This is compared to when you've got large areas, trying to do it on somewhere like this is really difficult and it doesn't usually work, so I don't bother. I've got to feel this has got a twist on it somewhere. I'm just trying to feel if I can feel where it is. I'm going to dip there in a high spot. Okay, so we'll call that. Now then, this down here, that is supposed to be a bush, which it plainly can't be now. So what we'll do is we'll do away with the fact that it was a bush and just strain it out. So I misinterpreted my own marks. Where's my brush? There it is. Now I can leave the top bit there because it's kind of could be Gibberer fur. What we'll just do is we'll go like this up to about there, and then we'll just go across there. So sometimes when you're carving, it's easier to take lots of small cuts than it is to take one big cut. So that's what I've just been doing there, taking a few small ones, which I could do with little effort. If I tried to take it off in one big chunk, I'd have spent ages trying to do that. Okay, now then, this is kind of like a stone that is stood on. So, it's also at an angle, so that's what we're going to do next is carve this downwards at an angle. One of the things you can do to help you get a clean line across is the wood changes colour slightly as you carve it, and you can basically see where you've carved up to across here, because I can see the edge line there. So what I can do is, by trying to keep that straight as I work my way across, I can won't say be assured, but I can use it as a means to try and keep an even carve all the way. Now I did say try because I'm not succeeding very well. Look at these splinters that are coming off here. I've got a decision coming up when I go down this way as to how much I count for his fur overlapping these blocks. Brush some of the debris away. Okay, so that's part of the block he stood on. Now whether I take that further back, I'm not sure at this moment in time, but we will see about that afterwards. Where's my pencil? Now then, you've got a block then. Well, it kind of goes backwards that way, of course, but I suppose more that way. But he's stood on it, so his fur is coming over the front there. What we've then got is we've got another block here that he's got his paw on. I'm going to take that all the way to the corner. I'm not going to mess about with that. So let's take that corner off as well. So at the moment this is high level carving. It's kind of setting the shape, but it's probably not ultimately at the level that it wants to be at. So whilst I've got the, might have the right angle here for this piece or this particular piece, it actually wants to be lower down. I mean, his paw's not going to be level with his teeth, so if the paw's on the block, then the block has to be further back in the picture. But I can't do proper 3D carving, if you like. This is relief carving and I don't actually have that much wood depth, so you kind of have to use a force perspective type of things. Okay, and you can tell that's a mistake because I don't normally swear. I've just taken a chunk out of that which I did not intend. I have to be careful here because too much force and I will actually drive the chisel through wood that I want to keep. So that needs to be below this level here, but at that sort of angle. Best way of doing that is going to be what? Because that's going to go back as well. So this is kind of in the as a almost a test cut I'm doing here. I want to get this sort of the shape right, and I'm doing it just in this small area here. And this will be kind of like a template then for what comes above it, but with the Gibberer fur overhanging the block, I've got to sort of carve that fur in, and so this acts like a template. It tells me where I want to go to, so that as I put the fur, carve the fur, I don't go any lower than this. Right, so now then, this is a block, yeah. Let's pause there, and then we start to get not too bad actually. You know what, I wish I knew what I was doing. It would probably make carving this a lot easier. So what I am doing is carving shapes and angles. I'm not carving a thing. So, you know, I'm not carving a block of wood, I'm carving an angle that goes in, which is what it looks like in a picture. Because it's kind of the safest way of doing it. I don't know how a block should look like when it's carved in this way, but if I reproduce the shape of what I see, then I should stand a better chance of having something come out that is reasonably okay. So that's what I'm trying to do at this point here, is just keep carving what I can see as opposed to what I might think. That's going to go down there like that. This one is then going to go backwards to about there. Let's do that. Okay, let's have a proper stop cut there. This chisel probably needs a little bit of honing, so I'll do that in a moment. Oh, my neck's aching. This is where I start carving away my guidelines for like where his foot's going to be and things like that. So starts to get a bit scary, I guess. The angle's completely wrong. Okay. Well, we'll fix it as we go. Well, I'm not altogether sure whether I'm doing this right or wrong, but we're finding out at the same time. Right, at the moment that's being done vertically, but it's not going to be, because it is also a background piece which I want to, carve downwards from a peak somewhere around here, which is the background. So I'm kind of playing about with perspective a little bit here, because of course I can't have something that's vertical is vertical. So I've got to kind of cheat somewhat, and it is described as forced perspective. What you're doing is using angles in a slightly odd way, which kind of fools the eye into thinking they're seeing something in a slightly different way to what they actually are. So, like if I effectively do something like this with an angle down here and an angle down there, and especially if something stood on it, it will look like a flat platform, but it's not flat. It's angled, and it's a really odd phenomenon to try and get your mind around when you're trying to carve it, which is why I'm sort of trying my best to just carve what I'm seeing, not what I know it actually to be. Because that's, if I know this to be a block of wood, I'm kind of wanting to go straight down, and it's not. I've got to look at it from perspective, if you like, a perspective angle. And I know that this is wrong here because that actually wants to go across there, which is fine. I'm just wondering here whether I ought to use a gouge on this space I've left myself there is only just wide enough for this chisel. Yeah, actually I'm going to have to use a smaller chisel or widen that channel a little bit there. But, right, so next thing is that angle there. What have we got down there? Just purely a brick wall behind him, yes I thought it was. Okay. So what we'll do then is, where does the brick wall start? About there. Yeah. So we'll bring that down from there. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm carving towards myself, I don't have a problem with doing that, but it does make some people a little bit anxious who may be watching. But I'm just thinking, mainly from my point of view, is it going to be easier if I turn this around like that and carve away from me? And the answer for that was probably yes at that point. So if it's easier for me, then I'll turn it around. Actually it is, because I can also see the changing wood colour. Wood oxidizes. If you cut wood, as I'm doing here, the wood that I'm exposing is lighter than the surface of the wood. Yeah, the surface of the wood gets dark, it oxidizes. So this will be as dark as this maybe tomorrow. I don't quite know how shallow this wants to be, and I want to get down to there by the time I get up to here. That's his ear. That's his ear. Ah, right. Okay. Oh! Well, hope it's doing well. So, why is it sort of come to visit, or because I thought you went somewhere else to look after the dogs, so I'm kind of a little bit sort of, or is there just its owner's just visiting and you're just saying hello to the dog whilst it's here? Oh, okay. So it's yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you for enlightening me. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to carve right up to the ear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carve a block around it, so like that far, and then so I'm going to give myself some space just in case. It's kind of one reason why you even though I am gradually carving away all of the marks that I've made, it is one reason why you do sometimes mark everything out on the surface of the wood, because it helps when you're doing things like this. So I can say, okay, well, if I carve this bit and don't touch that, I can leave that bit till later and I can get this down to the level, and I don't get too close to anything so I don't accidentally cut something I don't intend to, and stuff like that. Now, one of the things here is I'm going to be there's an ear. So what's on this side of the ear and what's on that side of the ear don't necessarily have to be matching, as long as they look like they match. Because they're not right next to each other, sometimes it can be hard to see that two things don't match each other in terms of height, for example. So just something you sort of bear in mind. It doesn't have to be a perfect match. So we've obviously been doing a lot of work tonight because we've got a lot of chippings. Okay. But I guess what that does, though, I'm assuming somebody is allergic to dogs and dog hair. So I'm assuming what that does, though, is allow her to stay with the people that love her and that she knows, rather than having to be rehomed. And as long as it's not cruel to the dog, like making it go out in sub-zero temperatures with the wrong length of fur, because it's meant to be like trying to take I don't know, a smooth-skinned dog out in the Arctic. They're not designed for it. It would be cruel, but as long as they're it's not cruel to the dog, then I think it's it's at least allows them to stay with their owners. So it might not look good, but I'm carving carefully around here just because I don't want to split this side frame. I suppose in some ways I should have done this before I did the side frame, but it would have been kind of a little bit awkward. So I'm just being careful I don't split any of this off here. know Lady Zara would like a dog, but she'd like something like like a husky or something similar to that. But I know that if we got a dog, the person that would be walking it would be me. I don't want to walk a dog.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Oh, you made me jump. No good when I've got a chisel in my hand. So stop doing it, I'll turn you off. Yeah, so does Ladies Out. Actually, they're nice. There's another one, Pyrenean mountain dogs, and a bit like that as well. Lady Zara likes what she describes as a chunky, big dog, that sort of on it. I know she'd love to have one, but as I say, despite the promises that she'd be to do all the walking, I don't think that would come about somehow, and I'd be doing it. So. Mind you, I guess with things like huskies, in theory what you can do is harness them up to a trap and actually have them pull you. You know that promise, yeah. It's the sort of promise that I know that is valid only until a dog is purchased. And then it suddenly becomes invalid, and it has to be shared as looking after a dog. So you do all the walking, and I'll do all the feeding. It'd be that sort of thing. Dogs need a lot of training though. Or they need training both to be happy and actually to be good, because a dog that isn't trained is can be a very annoying thing. I know there's a Jack Russell next door, and it won't do what it's told. It won't do things like sit or come to command, and it barks at anything, literally everything. It's almost a case of if it moves, it barks at it. If it doesn't move, it'll bark at it to see if it'll move, and then it'll bark at it. And that's a really irritating thing when you're out in the garden, because it barks continuously. And it's not been trained, and they do say that it's too old to be trained now. I'm not sure that's actually true, but nearly. If I'm not careful, I will put some in there I was not meant to. So let me just take a quick look at what this looks like. It's not carved right yet, but I just want to take a look at it from the perspective of the angles. Yeah, you can't really see that, but it's not bad. That probably wants to be slightly steeper, I think. but it's getting there. Alright, you can go on the floor then. So this bit here needs to go below the rim and then down there in order for this to sort of look back. So does this really. I don't know about this point. It probably also needs to go lower down, but I'm kind of making this up as I go along to see how it's going to work. Just stretching not stretching, relaxing my neck's muscles, I guess, because leaning forward stretches them. Okay, so carry on. You, me and the bot. Ah, well.
Drowning in your skin. I don't know where I end and where you begin. I'm a little drunk, but girl, I'm hung up on your touch. Early on in the night, you said you were mine, as we sipped on our glasses of wine. And you looked at me with that spark in your eye that says, take me home, make me never wanna sleep alone. Shake me, baby, right to the bone. Show me love that I've never known. Let's get lost in this, whatever it is. We're lazy in love, but we're crazy enough to do what we want, whenever we want. I wanna live in your eyes.
I was just thinking, why don't I stick to things like roses?
I wanna get to know whatever's under your brow.
They're a lot easier to carve.
Hide away with you for a while. I'm gonna take you home, make you never wanna sleep alone. Shake you, baby, right to the bone. Show you love that you've never known. And oh my God, I'll take you with me and don't look back. I'll be your savior, I'll be your guide. Show you love that you've never known. And in the heat of the moment, can't help but feel the fire growing. I know that you'll be here in the morning. For now, just come a little closer, a little closer. Let me take you home, make you never wanna sleep alone. Shake you, baby, right to the bone. Show you love that you've never I'll take you with me and don't look back. I'll be your savior, I'll be your guide. Show you love that you've never known. You've never known. You've never.
Yeah, then that's gotta be roughly the same point. Okay. Trying in my own mind to work out the levels, how far down I want this to go. I take this just below the level now, I can take, so this goes, yeah. I'm not going to bother putting that candle on, I don't think. I'll live without that bit of detail. That's probably about where I want it to be. So let's carve a downward angle on this and adjust that end point of that. Oh. So just making this smoothing this, I guess, but I wanted a reasonably straight, angled but straight surface, a flat angled surface, if that kind of makes sense. Don't want lots of bumps in it, but I want it to angle downwards from this look here, to give the a perspective look as though it's a vertical wall. Which starts up here and then goes down that way. I always find myself, it's because I picked the subject, but I always find myself carving these awkward places, like in this space here, trying to carve when I can't get a chisel in. Okay, that's probably about okay for this, so let's just widen this up slightly to sort of cut a channel there. So bring the sides in to match that same depth, that will do. I'll just leave that top section there a little while until we do something with it. Something with the ear. Oh, wow! Ow! So the top of the ear is across there. And it kind of goes, yeah, it just disappears across. So what we can do with this is, for the moment, so I've got across the top of the ear here so that we don't accidentally chop some of the ear. I don't know if he's got 4 ears or it's just like 2 ears with sort of tufts of fur across the front of his face. I'm not going to do a candle. No, I'm not going to do a candle. I drew it, but I'm not going to do it.
I've never heard such a deafening.
So now, working around this jewel, which I still haven't decided whether it's going to be there in the final carve or not. This could do with a little bit of sharpening. And that was probably a little bit enough. If you've not watched this channel before, you won't know what I'm about to say now, which is don't pull it off, cut it off. You have it when you're carving, if you've got these strands like that, don't pull them off, because if you do that you pull it all the way down there. So you always make sure to cut them off. Cut off like that, no problem.
You think your heart is made of stone. You don't have to be a lone soldier. Won't let you falter on your own. And the world can't revolve around your pretty face. Oh, but it should.
This mountain task is just a lot of wood removal. I need to get this down to the level of the frame so that I can then match with what I was doing down there. So not exactly sort of flying chips of wood, but rough carving, which is what this is definitely the time when you see the biggest chips of wood going around. After we get through the rough carving, it starts to get finer carving, and that's when you get lots less wood coming off. I guess the clue's in the name really, it's finer, but Most of your shaping is done in the rough carve.
Oh, but it's true. Yes, it's true.
And it's kind of typical in a way, but well over half the wood usually ends up in shavings with a relief carve. I don't know about a 3D carve because I've only ever tried doing one once. Actually, I've done two. Both were nice. Hello, Theo.
Wanna feel how fast my heart would beat if you were close.
Hello. Hi.
I wanna show you. Wanna let
You
you
say hello to the
inside
stream.
my brain to see
You say hello to the people watching.
or stay. Danger.
Say hello to the people that's watching. Try and make it a bit easier for them to see you. There we go. Theo the kitten. He's the one that was the model for the pyrography not so long ago. This fella, he's what? You must be about 15 months now? 15 months old? A year and a bit? Big fella, indeed he is. And he knows how to be cute as well. Because with this fella, one of the things you can quite easily do with this fella. Here we go, like that. This fella does not mind being played like this. Yeah, eh? You won't quite stand any amount of this, but you don't mind. You like that, don't you? You got your claws in me. Yes, you have. You're sleepy as well, aren't you? As long as I stand up, he'll lay like this. If I sit down with him, he then wants to get down. Oh, baby tushy cat. Hello. Hello, eh? Hello. You're not going to show all these people your face? You shy? Hello. Yes, it's my ear. It doesn't eat claws in it. No, it doesn't. No, you can. Why do cats like glasses? Because of the sparkly stuff. Of course, this isn't getting any carving done, is it? But hello. Usually this fella has black whiskers. Or some of his whiskers are black. Don't they? It looks like you've got dirt on the side of your face sometimes. You're gonna go to sleep. You're going to go to sleep, aren't you? Yeah, I can tell you're looking to cuddle up somewhere. Yes, thank you. I don't think I need a wash.
fantasy. Make my mind
Apparently I do.
blow. Take my soul
Mhm.
and draw colors everywhere. Make me yours,
So there
take
you
your
go.
time with me.
Actually, that's the first time he doesn't usually wash me.
Make me yours, take your
Doesn't even
time
usually
with
try.
me.
The only time he tries is first thing in the morning when because he always wants to drive down. And I've had a wash in the morning, but he always wants to drive ride down. He sort of sits with his belly on me and with his face up against mine, sort of vertically, if you can imagine. And he quite often will wash my face. I don't know if it's a soap or whatever. But then he does what they do with other cats. You know, they bite the fur to sort of break it up a little, but he does that. Which is what he just did now. And then he licks. He is indeed.
Build me up and
You are really sleepy tonight, aren't you?
hold me tight and love me. Throw me up in your sea.
Unfortunately, I've got to do a little bit. I don't actually have to do any more carving tonight, but
Make me yours, take your
I'll certainly have to put him down while I do some cleaning up.
Make me yours, take your time with me. Yeah.
What have I got left to do on here tonight? You know what, don't think we'll do any more carving tonight. So we started doing the background around the Gibberer. Let me, is there somebody there? Let's show the, go back to that view. Put that should that way. So this is the background behind the Gibberer here, down here. It's kind of like stone ruins. And this is the rest of this then is the Gibberer itself. Although it's in large blocks, so his ears are here and there's no detail on him. Hello. Yes, you want stroking, okay. And so what we're doing is taking the background down to a level, and then once we've got the background down, we can then carve the Gibberer. I'm leaving him basically well last, especially since I actually want the very highest point of him, which is just where his nose is basically, to be at that level of wood there. So he's actually forward of the frame, as though he's about to climb through it type of thing. And we're actually fairly close, relatively speaking, fairly close to it. It's just getting this background down to the right sort of levels, and this around here is the background. And then, largely speaking, then we can carve the Gibberer himself. Still haven't decided, as I say, about the jewel, whether to actually put it in or just to take it out. I mean, I don't know whether it adds anything or not. Take it out, we've still got the name Feral Gibberer, which will be across there, so I'm not... I mean, it's a feature of a Hearthstone card is the jewel, but I'm not sure it's doing anything. Same as a jewel down here, and I've been thinking about taking that out. So just so that the frame just continues around. So I was thinking about doing that as well with this, but I don't know. So we will continue with that background tomorrow. So it's close, but unfortunately, when you're carving sometimes, close doesn't mean nearly done. It means we're close to what we want, but it's still sort of maybe 2 hours to finish cleaning that and getting this shape around here just right. And I know the level's not right at the moment, but it's a a work in progress. Hello, yes. You want some more stroking? Okay. So I think, as it is actually 9 o'clock now, and this fella, I'm going to have to put you down, while I do some cleaning up. But I know you come and watch the vacuum anyway. Oh yes, alright. You don't need to use claws tonight. You off? Okay then, there we go then. He's just decided, time to go. So he's jumped, I put him down on my chair, and he's promptly curled up on the chair. So I might not have anywhere to sit. Because when I come to sit there, if I pick him up permanently, I know he'll jump down. Daft things the cats are out there, won't? Yeah, other times. Bye bye kitty, yeah! Vicky Online is saying bye bye to you, Theo. You're listening but you're not interested in looking. Okay, sorry. Right, yeah, so I was about to brush this off, but I'll probably vacuum it. So yes, the background down around here. Then we're into this thing. The way I'm going to go about doing that is I'm going to use the power tool to do in his mouth, around the teeth. I don't know whether so I'm going to do the deep cut into the mouth. Whether or not I'll actually use the power tool around the teeth, I'm not sure about that yet. But once we've got those deep cuts in there, what we'll be doing is the most of the fur we'll do with a very tiny either a V gouge or a U gouge, so we actually get like fur clumps. So it won't be smooth carved, it will actually be quite a, relatively speaking, a rough carve to actually look like fur hair around that, and we'll actually sort of shape the body. What it will probably involve as we do that though is taking the background down even further, because this is, I'm sure this is, well I know it's too shallow. But we are using this forced perspective type of look, so it may not go down that much further. I don't know. It really is going to be a case of keep doing it until I look, but I do have to bear in mind this thing is only about an inch deep is the board, and we've cut about half of it off already. And there's some screws under there somewhere. Actually, they're right there and there. And there. And there'll be another one there. So, but hopefully they're only in about an eighth of an inch, something like that. So they shouldn't actually be through the base. We say shouldn't. Because otherwise I'm going to hit one of them with a chisel. I know it. If I say they're not there, you know, and I'll have a damaged chisel. Corn mussels, indeed you were. You have missed the cat who was here for 5-10 minutes, and you've missed all the carving because unfortunately it's 9 o'clock. Hopefully your pyrography is going well, by the way, and you're doing more projects. But I am about to close and spend about 15 minutes now with the cat assisting, probably cleaning up all these shavings. So if anybody who's watching would like to see some more of this, as I say, tomorrow will probably be more background. I don't think we'll get onto the Gibberer itself. We might just do some of it just for a change, like the mouth, or the inside the mouth, and we'll do the rest at some other point. So tomorrow, I mentioned tomorrow. Well, tomorrow will be from approximately 7 PM UK time. That's GMT or UTC if that's more familiar to you. If I'm late, it's because I'm eating food, and I'll start as soon as I can after 7 PM. I do try and eat earlier, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. And whilst I'm talking about things, if you want to see a rerun of this, of course there's the VOD which is on here on Twitch. There's 2 weeks worth, I think, so if you want to look back at some of this work you can look back there. If it's not there, it will be on YouTube. This indeed will be on YouTube from 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Can't put it up any earlier than that, but if you prefer YouTube to Twitch for watching recordings, you can see all the old stuff there as well. How do you find it? Zaraganart, that's me. youtube.com/Zaraganart. And incidentally, I'll get my words out while we're talking about other websites. Of course, there's Twitter. I'm Zaraganart there as well. If you follow me there, you'll get notifications as to when I start streaming, because I tweet. Don't tweet much more than that, but I do tweet that, and occasionally the odd things about the stream, like if I'm going to start something or I'm thinking of something or it's a pretty view out the window, which is an inspiration at times, especially with all the snow. It looks like a Christmas card when it's out there. If you look on Facebook, you can see some pictures of what it looks like with snow out there. There's even a hut out there that looks like a mountain chalet. Which is completely thrown me about what I was going to say next, which is, of course, talking of following on Twitter and things like that. You can follow me here on Twitch. There's the thing up there on the top right, which to you is there, and which is my left. One of these days I'll reverse the cameras and then I'll totally confuse myself. But yes, so the follow button up there, and of course if you'd like to even more directly support the channel, there's the other two buttons there that do that. Proceeds of which go towards buying expensive wood, which is, this basswood is not cheap. It's not terribly expensive, but it's not cheap. It has to be bought all the same. As I usually say to a lot of people, wood doesn't grow on trees. It is trees, but it doesn't grow on them. And unfortunately you have to pay somebody to cut them down, which is usually the wood merchant. Anyway, I'm rambling. Look forward to seeing you on the stream tomorrow night. And with that, bye for now.